The head of the NHS in England will be challenged today over more than 50 secret payments to hospital staff, totalling £2 million since 2008.
Well, the Public Accounts Committee will ask Sir David Nicholson what he knew about the settlements and whether they were used to gag NHS whistleblowers.
Our political correspondent Chris Mason. All right, Chris, thanks very much indeed. Chris Mason reporting from Westminster this morning.
The President of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, has said the whole nation is praying for Nelson Mandela.
More than 50 people were arrested during yesterday's protests in London against the G8 summit of world leaders.
Good, because we need it simple. That's fine. Carol, look for it. I'm going to download that later. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Great, Carol. Thank you. And last month, official data showed that unemployment across the United Kingdom had started to rise again, with the notable exception of Scotland, where the number of people out of work actually fell.
Well, the latest figures due out in the next few hours. This morning, Steph's gone to Fife for us to look at the picture there behind the numbers. Morning, Steph.
Well, Graham joins us now. There will be some people thinking, well, if they're not real cigarettes, what's the problem? But what is the concern?
Well, the school that we saw in that piece, children were taking them into school and using them. So doctors are worried that that's a gateway into nicotine addiction.
Graham, thanks. From emails we're getting this morning, messages, people very supportive of it, people who use it. Some, Sarah, for instance,
of the e-cigs.
Yeah.
Is that what we call them, e-cigs?
E-cigarettes.
Yeah, Sarah says, you know, she was a very heavy smoker, 20 plus a day, and then started using e-cigs in 2011. She breathes without wheezing. She no longer needs inhalers. Her general health's much better, so she thinks it's a great idea.
It's not the most elegant word, is it?
E-cigs.
E-cigs. Graham, all right, we'll talk to you a bit later on. Thanks very much indeed, and keep your thoughts coming in on what we should call them.
At least. Still to come on the programme this morning.
Charismatic, and he defied the odds himself. He'd been ill for some time, and he kept going.
His greatest achievement was at the end, too.
Frankel. It's so interesting. Do you see those pictures? Incredible thing to have achieved.
Indeed. Sally, thanks very much.
6:38. Now, more motorists are being caught on camera and fined for doing things like entering a yellow box or driving in a bus lane. Councils say that they issue tickets and penalties to keep the traffic flowing smoothly because there are simply more cars on the road.
But private emails obtained by the BBC's Panorama programme reveal a rather different story, with officials congratulating each other on the number of tickets issued. We'll discuss this in a moment. First, this report from Adam Shaw. Ever so slightly.
As soon as we start talking about an issue like that, it gets people hot under the collar. Either way, and you can watch Panorama Traffic Fines Highway Robbery tonight at 7:30 on BBC One.
Right now, it's 13 minutes to 7. This is Breakfast. These are the main stories this morning.
The head of the NHS in England will be challenged today over more than 50 secret payments to hospital staff, totalling £2 million since 2008.
The Public Accounts.
Well, they're described as secret payments, not so secret now. How were they discovered? What were they used for, Chris?
Yes.
An independent panel is expected to criticise the way the decision was taken to reduce the number of hospitals performing heart surgery for children in England and Wales.
It was announced last summer that the number of centres providing the highly complex operations would be cut from 10 to 7.
Smoking devices. I mean, children are using them, and she says they're sending a confusing message because they still allow them to get addicted to nicotine.
Some pubs are saying, you know, you can't use these in pubs because you can sit next to somebody in a pub and barely be aware that actually they're using.
Devices must come from tobacco companies in the Inland Revenue who stand to lose billions. That's from Jonathan.
Yeah, the licensing issue would sort out the revenue part of it, wouldn't it?
Well,
just coming up, it's 26 minutes past 7. After 1:30, this yellow box junction.
It strikes me that the characters you play, certainly the last three, I mean, we Sophie yesterday, and Delight, when she said that she was actually sort of what she called a glorified extra in the film, so she had a very small part. Where
and unfortunately, that was a scene which ended up on the cutting room.
I'm not going to hang that on you, but that's a big reference point for me.
always.
Of course, one of the things that you were so involved in was the History Boys, both the play and then the tour of around the world, and then the film. And very good luck. The film is summer in February, and it is out on Friday.
That's it from us. Charlie and Louise here tomorrow from 6. They'll be joined by the American country singer Jerry Naylor.
Have a lovely day today, whatever you're doing. Thanks for your company. Bye-bye.
Bye.